May I respond very briefly to her statement?
Well, I think we can do that probably on one of our members' time.
Okay, thank you. I don't want that to get away. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Behind me, I have 3 documents from the DOJ production that are emblematic of the massive failure of the DOJ to comply with the Epstein Files Transparency Act. To my right is an email that was sent by the victim's lawyers to the DOJ. It was a list of names not to redact, a list of names not to release. What did the DOJ do with this email? They released this email in the document production. Literally the worst thing you could do to the survivors, you did. And they're getting phone calls. A lot of these people didn't want to be known. And we know you touched the document because you redacted one name and you redacted the lawyer's name, but you left the survivor's name there. The next document I want to show you, that was in the title, the victim's survivors' names, all right? The title of this one is Child Sex Trafficking, Co-Conspirators, fully redacted. And by the way,
okay, guys, this is really hot. I do not want to stop it. But wasn't Pam Bondi and the DOJ and everybody, their excuse was for not releasing it was they wanted to protect the victims.
Well,
So-
she also said that they covered up all the names before they even got the files as well. I remember her saying that.
I also would like to point out the fact that she was the attorney general in Florida where Jeffrey Epstein was being charged with all these crimes.
Now, look, I'm not blaming you, Pam, for covering for Jeffrey, but
I will say that her handling of this has been dog shit. And I think her responses today in this Judiciary Committee were also dog shit.
Yes.
She said we shouldn't talk about the Epstein files. Let's focus on the stock market.
But
what?
In Pam's defense, this has been a bad handling from everybody, though. From everybody in Congress, from all these people in government. They've been covering up these pedophiles for a long time. They've been covering up this whole situation. So yes, it's falling back on you, Pam, because the administration said that they were going to do it. And y'all said y'all were going to protect victims, and on this document, y'all did not. So it does look bad.
But some victims wanted their names to be pushed forward, though.
Not these victims, and they were pushed. That's a problem.
that was in the title, the victims' survivors' names, all right? The title of this one is Child Sex Trafficking, Co-Conspirators, fully redacted. And by the way, I'm gonna unredact them here. Les Wexner is in this. Now your your deputy attorney general said, oh, well, he appears hundreds of times in the files, but he doesn't appear in this file until I forced you to release it, where he's listed as a co-conspirator, not to tax evasion, but to child sex trafficking, not to prostitution, not to money laundering, child sex trafficking. And then finally, what we have here is the third exhibit that I have is emblematic of the FD 302 release. These are the documents that we need that you're holding on to and over-redacting because they have the names of the men who are implicated. How do we know? Because the survivors gave testimony to the FBI, and it's in there. And what happens when you go to the portal at the DOJ to look at what's behind this redaction? Another redaction. So we can't even see them. And then there's some of these files you've pulled down from the website that we will never see because we can't search the redactions. So I have several questions for you. Who's responsible? Are you able to track who in your organization made this massive failure and released the victims' names? Are you able to track who it was that obscured Les Wexner's name as a co-conspirator in an FBI document? Do you have that kind of accountability?
I believe Wexner's name was listed more than 4,000 times.
Yeah, I already told you that. This is where he's listed as a co-conspirator.
Can I finish my answer? Come on, let me finish my answer. We corrected that within 40 minutes. He was already, you're acting like everybody's trying to cover up Wexner's name.
Reclaiming my time.
I'm gonna answer this question.
Reclaiming my time.
Mr.
Chairman.
This is how this works.
Can I have my time back?
Mr. Chairman.
The gentlelady can give her answer. The time belongs to the gentleman from
All right,
Kentucky.
I'm reclaiming my
Can
time.
I give my answer?
So
Yes.
I'm going to put the language of the bill up on the screen.
Chairman,
because I
may I
have
give my
another
answer
question.
on that?
If-
It's
Here's
a political
the question.
joke, and I need to give my answer
Yep,
on that.
we'll let the Attorney General respond, and then the gentleman can move to his
Chairman,
next question.
it's my time.
Within 40
Chairman.
minutes, you asked me a question.
You can give
Within
me-
40 minutes, Wexner's name was added back.
Within 40 minutes
You
of me catching you red-handed.
There was one redaction out
Where
of
he's
over
listed as a
4,700,
co-conspirator.
Okay.
and we invited
You know what?
you
Show the
in.
video.
This
Show
guy
the-
has Trump derangement syndrome. He needs to
the
get.
video.
You're a failed politician.
Gentlemen,
You need to
time
get
belongs
on
to you to
things
watch the
that
video.
matter.
Mr. Chairman, please restore his
Besides
time
time.
and remind the witness of the
himself.
rules
There
here.
is
Time?
no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals.
Is that your position as well?
My position is any victim who comes forward, of course, we would love to hear from them. 1-800-CALL-FBI. Did you ask Merrick Garland that the last 4 years? Did you talk about Epstein?
I am reclaiming
at all
my
the
time.
last
I'm
4
glad you're
years?
asking about Merrick Garland.
You don't get to reclaim
because
time
this
when
is
you don't-
bigger than
when you can't-
Watergate.
when I don't answer a question the way
This
you
goes
want.
over 4 administrations. You don't have to go back to Biden. Let's go back to Obama. Let's go back to George Bush. This cover-up spans decades, and you are responsible for this portion of it.
And that.
Damn. He's hot.
I mean, if that's a fact, if Pam did that, if she covered this guy's face for being a sex trafficker, that is bad. And that is a part of covering it up.
I'm not gonna lie, they always try to come at Thomas Massey, but I think he's a real America First politician. I think a lot of the stuff he does do at times will conflict with the Trump administration, but I think as far as pure America First guy, he's probably one of the best.
Someone, the guy that was talking to Pam.
Thomas Massey,
Yeah,
hell
that's Thomas
yeah.
Massey. You don't know who Thomas
Oh
is?
yeah, Kentucky's finest. They always try to say he does terrible, but they love him in Kentucky. He gonna
This
keep
is
getting
bad,
reelected.
Pam. Oh my God.
This is terrible.
It seems like we're just ruled by people that are just covering and covering and covering up more bullshit.
But you know
more pedophiles, more laundering money. It's bad, guys. And oh my God, this is just a huge bombshell right here.
I
This is
think
crazy.
I think the worst part about it is that it constantly proves the thing that I've been saying on this channel for a while.
It does.
Government officials and high-ranking people can get away with anything.
It does.
And then they publish smoke and mirrors to the public with all the huff and puff. Oh, we're investigating. We're charging. Nothing ever freaking happens.
Man, I had faith in Pam, bro. I had real faith in this administration. Now, I do believe the economy and stuff is different than these insane cover-ups. Like, it's totally different. Yeah, Trump and them could do good on the economy, but in this situation, man, this one is actually an F. We have to say it's an F at this point.
We should have
Definitely
known as soon as we seen Dan Bongino decided to step down. And so if you got these evidence coming out, and you see Dan Bongino stepping down, this look kind of fishy.
This is bad. Oh, it's more than fishy. She hid a name as being a sex trafficker.
Was she getting paid off? Like
some,
it's
yeah.
it's all types of stuff you should.
His
be worried
name
about.
being in the files 4,000 times is crazy. If your name in there 4,000 times, you did something either way. But when you hide a face for being a sex trafficker, it's not transparent.
It's not at all.
That's
Now,
where the
I want to
most
know at
transparent-
what point did the FBI and the DOJ decide that Lex Wessner was not a co-conspirator? Because our Epstein Files Transparency Act requires you, please put it
Time is
back on the
up.
screen, please, to release the internal decision about whether to prosecute him or not, and it's not in the files, and it's not in the files for any of these other men.
Time of the gentleman has
Which,
expired.
may she answer?
And he's a hypocrite because he voted against the ban that we were talking about on deep fake AI porn. Only 2 people voted against it, and you were one of them, hypocrite.
Okay.
The gentleman's time has
It's
expired.
bad, but like, what does that have to do with anything?
We talking about some
Mr.
internet stuff
Nah,
compared
it
to
is
real
crazy,
life
though.
kids getting trafficked, bro.
I mean,
I'm
I don't know.
not-
That's true,
come
but
on
that
now.
is still crazy.
That is crazy.
She did,
But what she's covering up is worse
That
than
was
what
a-
he
Yeah,
was
for
going
sure.
at.
That was a
Sure.
crazy deflection.
Yeah, it was a crazy
The gentleman's time has expired. She didn't answer the question.
Mr.
Yeah,
Chairman,
I would,
order.
Mr. Chairman, could she answer the question? Chairman, I was wondering.
The gentlelady's allowed, the Attorney General's allowed to respond the way she wants to respond to any
getting
member's
fired.
questions, Republican, Democrat.
All right, I have unanimous consent request.
Gentleman's recognized for a
Got
UC.
a fire.
All right. This is an example. I'm submitting these 302 forms that are entirely redacted, even when you go to look at them.
Without objection.
Dang.
I'm submitting a witness statement that implicates Les Wexner.
Without objection.
I'm submitting an article from the New York Times that the DOJ released nude photos and
Without objection.
identifiable pictures of the victims.
Whoa.
I'm submitting a letter from AG Bondi to Kash Patel, imploring him to quit keeping the files when you found out that they were keeping files from you, because
Without
they're
objection.
still redacting files that you.
Chairman, are we going to
Without
recess for votes?
Yes, we are.
I'm submitting for unanimous consent a document of 17 individuals who've resigned because of the Epstein files.
Without objection.
17 people?
My question is,
Whoa.
Just want to check on what time.
my question is, when these people, if they're redacting and doing all this hooping and hollering, who's going to jail?
That's what I'm saying. They pressed her on why nobody went to jail. She said, let's focus on the stock market. What a freaking joke.
But even if they press her, is the people in them files still gonna go to jail?
No.
That's the problem.
Pull up the clip where they asked her about why no one went to jail. She said, let's focus on the stock market.
Is that the one with the Indian lady?
No, I haven't.
That's the
I
Indian
sent
lady.
it.
You gotta play the Indian lady. Bro.
I sent it.
But isn't this what basically happened?
Yeah, but you can't. Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened. I mean,
Let's
this is
play
what
the
happened in this clip.
Let's do the
As
clip.
far as what, the one you just sent?
Oh, I thought I had a shorter one. Didn't I
No,
show
no,
a
no.
shorter
This
one?
is the one he's talking about where all the victims
Yeah,
basically
let's
stood
just play
up.
the first 30 seconds of it. That's a good clip.
To the survivors in the room,
Just don't want to hear
if you
her.
are willing, please stand.
Dang.
And if
man.
you are willing, please raise your hands if you have still not been able to meet with this Department of Justice.
Dude.
Please know for the record that every single survivor has raised their hand. Attorney General Bondi.
Man, it's just gonna piss me off because Democrats are gonna use this as so much fuel, bro.
I'm not, hey man,
It
they
is.
can't. They cannot do that.
No, they- what
this
you mean?
goes back to both Obama administration.
But they're gonna
people,
do that.
People can try that bullshit excuse. Oh, this was, look, she won't even look at them. That's terrible. People can try that bullshit excuse. Oh, it was sealed. Oh, it was sealed. There was an investigation. They had enough information to charge him and his wife with sex trafficking. They had enough information to investigate them years prior. So don't give me that shit that the files was sealed. Don't give. Now, why was it?
bad.
Why were we getting information to the public prior to this Epstein debacle under the Trump administration that we knew he was sex trafficking, that we knew he had all the stuff on the island? There's documentaries. There's countless trails of evidence
Yes.
that we of everything we've been led to believe up to this point, and now they're trying to dispel it and they're redacting everything.
You know,
It's terrible.
I talk to, my parents. Sometimes they are very liberal in some instances, and they gonna say, like when I was talking to my dad about Jay-Z being in the files, he gonna say everybody in the files but Trump. That's what they gonna say.
Trump in the
Trump
files.
in the files.
I know, but
Everybody
now they gonna
know that.
say
You know,
he ain't get caught with nothing.
The most recent Trump update is that he called the police on Epstein multiple times and told the police go investigate Ghislaine Maxwell and that she's evil.
For real?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, Trump good, man.
Why would he bring it up though? But why she's covering it? Because
they knew it was gonna get covered up.
It just no. It looks bad because she's from Florida, and
Bro,
there's
she
probably
was-
people there that was actually.
She was the AG while it was going
Bro,
on.
but
Wow.
Cant,
She
hold
was
on.
the AG.
That's
We
crazy.
know that Trump obviously wouldn't have ran if he felt like he did something insane, and it would have came out
He
against
brought
him
it
in
up.
his campaign.
He talked
Yes.
about it.
If Trump was guilty of all the things they've done to try to stop him politically, this would have came out.
For
Yeah,
sure, for
facts.
sure.
It
So
would've
they
came out a
they
long
would have
time
digged in
ago.
and found it, and it would have just been released because that would have ended everything, and they would have won. But when certain things are hidden, it's gonna make it seem like Trump don't
hiring
be
it.
hidden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like
Is it her or is it Trump with it?
we know that if it was
look
Trump,
bad.
they would have went in, dug in, and found it. But
Fact.
other people, they don't know that.
Yeah, that is
Fact.
They
true.
gonna say it's stuff being covered up and Trump in them files.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
But this is bad.
I think the reason people are trying to implicate Trump is because it's being covered up under his administration. So
That
they
is true.
think there is some sort of admission of guilt there.
But he's the only one that ever brought it up. That's what
And
make
he
it
hired
more
the wrong
grand.
No. It's not that he's the only one that ever brought it up. Apparently, the investigation that kept the file sealed concluded in 2024. So Joe Biden could have released this, but he didn't.
The Dow right now is over. The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about making Americans safe. We should be talking about, what does a Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked.
Are
you kidding?
What does
Mr. Jordan, Mr. Jordan.
Committee.
What
This
does,
is bad.
I'm sorry, Pam Bondi.
This
was
bad.
an absolute debauchery. What a dog shit answer.
It's like economy. We know it's good. We know it's gonna be good under Trump. But we wanted the files.
I just think the
Two different things.
The public answers from the Trump administration regarding the Epstein files currently is absolutely horrible. And y'all remember y'all try to say, what would I grade the Trump administration? I'm giving them based off this debacle, the Cash Patel crap.
Yeah. You know.
C plus.
Oh yeah. The
minus.
administration altogether.
C
give 'em-
minus.
After this is for sure a B minus. But Trump himself.
So what
it's
happened?
different to me.
What happened? They
he
said no
A+.
income tax. What would it be?
Trump
All
A+.
time-
It will go up to a B.
He hired this
It
no
will go-
income
it-
tax.
I see it will go up to a B because I had it at a B minus. We might have dipped to C plus.
C
Oh,
plus.
no income tax. This shit wouldn't matter. It'll be A minus. You know,
We're going to
everybody.
no income tax. We're going to B plus. B.
Man, I don't know,
No,
man.
I'm
This
not
is
going there. Shit no. Shit
Yeah, there's
no.
no income tax. That's gonna make it A plus no matter what cover you be.
I
For
mean,
sure.
income
But
tax would be absolutely legendary,
That
but it
would be
still wouldn't
insane.
cover up all this other bullshit.
This shit is
but
pretty
everybody
crazy,
would be
man.
feeling good.
Yeah, for sure. But
That's all that
that
matters.
doesn't make this go away.
It don't.
Yeah, that's it, man. The
That's
victims are there. That's
it's
bad.
like when you turn in a good test, you get an A, but your missing homework don't go away, brother.
Yeah, man. Look, like I said, Trump himself, A. But the administration, it could be by the C. It could be. This is this might be like the worst day in a long time.
This is the worst day under the Trump administration for us,
in a
y'all.
long time. Let us know what y'all think in the comments. This is bad.